There you go, Violet. Yeah, boat flip him. Come on, bring him in. Right here, I'm going to talk about PPE. You only get one set of eyes. So, especially when you're starting, you need to be using some of these, because if you get some of that plastic in your eye, you're going to be screwed. You do need to be very cautious. You need to pay attention to your lungs. You need to make sure to read the label on the Plastisol and understand about how the fumes can affect you. I use a 3M respirator. Strongly suggest that. Make sure you have lots of good ventilation. Anything like these, you got these gloves right here. Either one of these, you just need to cover your hands up. You want to have some dexterity so you can pull your molds and stuff apart. But you can go in any of the groups and look. It won't take you long to find some pictures of people's hands all blistered up. You don't need to go out and blow a bunch of money on stuff. You can find pretty much everything you need just to start here. There was music playing in the store, so here I am substituting the audio. Here's 5 knives that you can get for 99 cents. Here's a microwave for $24, 1,000 watts. That's a steal right there, boy. Look, I hear a bunch of Rennie about how expensive my equipment is. It's really not that expensive. There's machines that are like $40,000, $90,000. But if you're making profit, what does it matter? This is exactly where I started whenever I started up my bait stuff. I piggybacked this business off the back of another business that I have. And I have a Capital One cash back credit card. And I'm not here to say, oh, you need to go get your credit card. If you're not responsible and you're not going to make your payment every month, you're going to wind up with like a 20% interest rate, 24 sometimes percent interest rate, and it will completely and utterly decimate you. Don't go do that. But if you are responsible, there's no reason, you know, if you're gonna, I was using a paint store's line of credit that they have here, and it was only because I couldn't be there all the time for them to buy and pick up stuff, and they would just charge it to that account. It's a commercial account, and they weren't giving me anything for it, and they would lock us out even though we were paying our stuff. The system might update and we might owe like $5 or $10 or something. They would literally lock us out over a little bit of paint that we needed to do a big job. So that's why I did the Capital One thing. A couple years ago, I had $2,000 or $3,000 that I had racked up on that, and I could have bloated on something stupid like going on a vacation. I'm not knocking, just listen, I'm not knocking anybody that wants to do vacation stuff like that. I'm more interested in propelling myself further in life. Right now, I want to live like nobody else, so that way tomorrow I can live like nobody else. That's the mentality that I'm approaching this with right now. So I'm not knocking anybody for spending your money on whatever it is you want to spend it on. It's fine, but I'm looking at this from a practical business standpoint. I built that business off of rewards points that were quote unquote given to me for free. There's 2 types of debt. There's good debt and there's bad debt. If it is debt that takes money out of your pocket and it costs you every single month and it's not adding anything to you and you're not cash flowing on it, it's bad debt. Especially whenever you have like 20% interest rates and crazy stuff like that. You need to get rid of all that as quick as possible. I mean, find the fastest track and get away from that. Run from it. There's another type of debt, and it's good debt. So say you go and you get a loan to do this house, and then you have this house and you're renting that house out. Well, if you're cash flowing every month above whatever your payment is, that's fine. That's good debt to carry. There's people that's got tens of hundreds of millions of dollars, and that's how they do it. This right here worked perfect for your cooling system. I paid $40 for mine at the Home Depot. I'm actually going to snag this right here right now. Okay, I wound up with some silverware here. This place, I actually got them for 10 cents a piece. The lady wasn't actually even going to charge me for these. I said, hey, go ahead and charge me the money so that way I can show the receipt in the video. And I left, we got to talking. But anyway, so I don't have the receipt. But yeah, 10 cents a piece. You don't really need a whole bunch of them. I'd say at least 2. But if you want to get crazy with it, you could spend $1 and get 10 of them. Or like at the other place at the Goodwill, we've seen that they were, it was like 99 cents for 5. So they're a little more expensive there, but everybody's got $1, bro. If you got money to buy an energy drink, you got money to get bait making supplies. Another big win was that insulated cooler. That's going to go for my other cooling system in the shop. So that's great. This is basic run of the mill 32 fluid ounce cups. They're $5.17 plus whatever your tax is going to be. I don't use volumes this small. This might be something you're interested in. These will heat up a whole lot faster. You could get you 2 of these, $5.17 a piece. So what's that? $10.34. something like that. You could get 2 of them if you're gonna do dual colors. If you're only doing singles, then you ain't gotta worry about it. I've actually got some that are middle. That's what I prefer, but I'm not seeing them here. You've got a 1/4 teaspoon, 1/2 teaspoon, 1 teaspoon, 1 tablespoon. That's all that I use. If you need an 1/8, you can always just do half of this and you're good to go. Okay, this can be deceiving. Even though this is $55, and it's the bottom of the barrel right here is 700 watts. So the one that was over at the Goodwill was actually 300 watts more for a fraction of the price. And as you get over here into these with the higher wattages, the price just keeps going up and up and up. So the ones that I use are actually 1100 watt, and to be honest with you, 1100 watts works great. 1000 is not going to be that much difference. So I would say if you get lucky, you can find one at the Goodwill, maybe some other locally owned thrift shop, or if neither of those work, there's always Facebook Marketplace and there's Craigslist. Both of those you can score good microwaves. And this is a maybe because depending on the mold manufacturer, you probably are going to have thumb screws, and the thumb screws work just fine for being able to pour. I do have some old school molds that have no thumb screws whatsoever, so you could get you a couple of these clamps like this, or maybe some of these cheaper ones, whatever. And this is going to be something else you're definitely going to need. You need to make sure that your plastisol is cooked at 350 degrees. You don't want to go above 400 because then you're going to burn your plastisol. And you want to make sure that it's catalyzed. If you go below, then your baits will be gummy and sticky. The most valuable thing that you have besides the Lord is your time. Your time is the most valuable thing that you have. This right here was my very first injector that I had. This is an Amazon special. It might be a 4-ounce injector, I'm not sure. But this is what I started with. This is the reality of it. So like I was telling you, I had money that was left over from that 2% cash back, and that's what I did. I bought a whole bunch of molds. And I pretty much skimped on everything else. I personally wouldn't recommend going with this unless you're just planning on going with single colors for a while, but I can almost guarantee you that once you get bit by the bait making bug, you're definitely gonna want a dual injector. And honestly, the most budget friendly one that you can get is gonna be a Do It. I really like the Do It dual injectors a whole lot. They're really thin walled, they heat up really fast, they're easy just to hit with a torch, and you're good to inject. If you're wanting to future-proof your situation, if you think, hey, I might be getting into this and trying to do some like small production, then I would definitely say go with the dual 6-ounce, but if otherwise, a dual 4-ounce should be enough to get you by. That leaves the plastisol, the glitter, the colorant, and the molds. This can be a winner chicken dinner. Usually the finer stuff that they have, I've never used this silver holographic. But I would assume that that one would work. Usually the small ones work really well. I have used quite a bit of these larger flakes, and every single one of those that I've used have definitely lost their shine. And one of my colors that I have actually calls for this. I make snow shine from this, and the heat causes this glitter to turn a different color. You can come out with some really artistic looks, so don't be afraid to just, you know, blow some money on one of them. Try it. If it doesn't work, just scratch it off the list. Silver's a solid one from here, and so is the black. The black works pretty good. Just remember, if it's clear, it will tint it a little bit. You can always use these Pearl X powdered pigments. Get a pearl look to your baits, and they've got some pretty cool ones right here. I've used the black pearl before and it worked out pretty nice. So if you've got a Hobby Lobby close to you, use it to your advantage. $2.99 each, 40% off, can't beat that. Okay, you can go ahead and visit this website here at baitplastics.com. You can select the soft bait plastic starter kit. They have a lot of different options here. If you select this rookie starter kit, that's going to be your best budget option for $92.99. It's got 1 gallon of plastisol. It looks like you get 1 cent. You get 3 pigments of your choice. You can get 3 color choices of 0.40 hex high temp glitter, and you get 25 bait bags. Right here is the type of plastisols you can get. This is what I use, is the 262 medium hard. They have 242 low odor ultra clear. All it is a reformulation of the 212. It's just low odor and ultra clear. Alright, all things considered, I have no idea what kind of mold you're going to be getting, but if you're making bass baits, you're going to keep in mind that you could get something like green pumpkin brown, the green pumpkin, June bug, watermelon. Any of those colors are going to be more what you bass guys are going to be after. Now, you crappie guys, you're going to be more after stuff like the chartreuse, the fluorescent green, fluorescent orange, fluorescent pinks, any of that stuff, the blacks and the white. That's going to give you a whole lot of versatility to be able to make a lot of different colors and be able to fish a lot of different water conditions. Now, as far as bags are concerned, I use 7x3. 7x4.25 is the closest thing that they're going to have. Some of you bass guys, if you're using stick baits, you're going to have to keep that in mind for the dimensions of the bag that you choose. So pick your mold that you're going to be shooting, figure out what the dimensions of it are. If you're going to get a couple molds, then you need to make sure that everything all flows together. Last thing on this list is going to be scents. Herring's great, crawfish oil's great. This is totally up to you. Alright, for your molds, this is my favorite mold manufacturer, hands down. Go to fatguysfishing.com. When you go to checkout, enter in promo code PINEOutdoors. That's with a capital P and a capital O. That's the promo code that'll get you 10% off any of these molds that they have. So you got to check out this section right here. This is the low cavity mold section. This bait right here is what I run. I have the 40 calves. I think they're like $178 or something like that. But look, for $46 you can get a 6 cavity count mold. You can't beat that. Look, they have all these different bait profiles. You want some 5-inch stick baits and you're only wanting to dabble, you can at least check it out to see if this is something that you're going to be into or not. Of course, you crappie guys, you can come over here, the crappie mold section, and the options are limitless that they have. They have so many baits here, different profiles and stuff that you can pick from. You can really get something really unique that I could almost guarantee you that in some locations the fish are never going to have seen them. Bass guys, they've got stick bait and worm section. Again, the options are limitless. There's just so many things that Fat Guys Fishing has. Now there's another section here, supplies for pouring. I used this dual 6-ounce injector that they had here for the longest time. It's also something that I would give a solid recommendation. I sure hope that has helped you in some shape, way, or form. You guys take care and God bless.